Welcome and thank you for joining on this demo video. My name is Ella. In this video, I will present how you can use one of the services that Loyverse offers, which is the Employee Management. Employee Management is one of the add-on services that allows you to add and manage your employees. By adding your employees in your Loyverse account, you can track each employee's sales performance and make business-informed decisions. You can have an information about the workload per hour and for efficient management of your staff. You can manage your employees' access to sensitive information and functions. Employees can clock in, clock out in the system, and the system will calculate their total working hours. And also you can identify cash discrepancy at the end of the shift, and you can track employees' accuracy and manipulation. In this video, we will see how you can do all of that. Let's go to Loyverse back office, where you will be able to add and manage your employees. To add your employees, first of all, you need to activate the trial for the employee management service, or even subscribe if you have already used the free trial period. To add employees, you have to go to the employees section and employee list and click on the add employee button. From here, you can add your employee by writing a name, adding an email for your employee. The email is not mandatory, but it will be if you want the employee to access the POS application with his own email and password. So we will add an email in this case. We can add a phone number for the employee, and also we can select a role. Now, this role is extremely important because depending on this role, the employee will have specific access right. You see that the system generates a PIN code for the employee, and this PIN code will be used by the employee to identify himself when he enters in the POS application. If you have added multiple stores in your Loyverse account, you can decide in which store your employee will have access to, and you can click the button Save to save these settings. Of course, that, as I mentioned, adding employees is part of the employee management. So when you add your first employee, you will see this message. Now the employee is created. So now we have the owner, and also we have one of the employees that we add. Now, as I mentioned, the employees can have, or Loyverse Employee Management allows you to restrict and manage the access right of your employees. And this access right is managed in this section, where you see the roles that you can assign to your employees. When you create your Loyverse account, by default there will be 4 roles: owner, administrator, manager, and cashier. The owner has every access right possible activated, and this cannot be edited. But for the other roles, you can manage their access right. For example, the cashier that we just add, you'll see 2 blocks of access right for the cashier, the list of access right for the POS, and the list of access right for the back office. And what you can do as owner is activate or deactivate the access right that you want to give to your employees, and disable the access right that you don't want the employee to have. One of the access rights, for example, in the POS is view all receipts. In the POS application, there is the list of the receipts here. So in this list, it will the system will show all the receipts that have been issued in your account since the moment that you created your Loyverse account. Meaning that if the employee signs in and uses the POS, he also can see all this receipt list. But if you don't want him to see all the receipt list, but you want him to see only the last 5 receipts, then you can disable this access rights. How it will look like. Now, what we will do is that we will go to the POS application, and we will switch user account from owner to the employee. How to switch user account? So in the open POS application, to switch user account, you have to go to this log icon, and it will appear this screen. Now you can enter the PIN code of the employee, and the system will identify who is using the application, and the name of the employee will appear in the POS menu. And now, if you noticed, here changed, like from the whole list of tickets, now it appears only the last 5 receipts. and if the employee wants to show all open tickets, then it will appear this block screen asking for the PIN code of the owner or one of the employees that has access right to view all received. So in this way we restrict the access right of the employee. Now the other access right is to apply discount with restricted access. When you create discounts, you can activate the restricted access for them. For example, for this one, let's say, we can activate this restricted access. So if one employee decides to apply this discount, but he does not have access to apply this discount with restricted access, he will again receive this block. So if we go to the sales screen, and I add some item to the ticket and I try to apply this discount, then they will receive this blocked screen asking for the PIN of the owner or the administrator. The other access rights are the change taxes in a sale. So when you add an item to the ticket, if the item has tax or you have configured tax in your account, it is possible to disable taxes during the sale. But if the employee does not have access right to do this, he will not be able to do such action. The other access right is to accept payments. So you can restrict your employees so they will not be able, not all of them will be able to accept payments. So you might have many employees in your business, employees who, for example, perform a specific service. So they are in contact with customers and they do the service, and you need to track their activity, but they do not accept payments. Only the cashier accepts payments. So you can disable this access right so that every employee can create the order for the customer, but they cannot be able to charge. I want to remind once again that in Loyverse you can create like the ticket for the customer by adding all the services, for example, that he would like to receive in your business. And you can save this ticket as open ticket. So you can write a name for the customer, for example. You can write also a comment for it, and you can save. So this is called an open ticket. Now these open tickets are synchronized between all POS devices under the same Loyverse account, so that the cashier, the person who will receive the money, can also see this open ticket and he can charge it. And so he receives the money, but the service was performed by this employee Andy. So in the sales report you will be able to see this sale as Andy's sale, so you can track the performance of this employee. But Andy himself cannot charge from his POS device. Then the other access right is perform refund. In the POS application, if you go to the receipt list, you can issue a refund. If an employee does not have access right to issue this refund, then he will receive again this message to insert the PIN code of the owner or an administrator who has the access right to do a refund. The other access right is manage all open tickets. So as I mentioned, the open tickets are synchronized between all POS devices that are POS devices under the same Loyverse account, as long as all these POS devices are connected to the internet. Now this synchronization happens if all the employees have this access right to manage all open tickets. In case that they don't have this access right, then employees will see only their open tickets. So you can activate this toggle for your employee, or maybe you can activate, for example, this access right only for the cashier who will receive payment, but not for other employees. So the other employees who will do the service to the customer can see only their open tickets. Another Another access right related with open tickets is void saved items in open tickets. So when you create an open ticket, you can go back, open it, and you can delete items or services that have already been added to this open ticket. So if I try to delete, then this employee does not have this access right, so they will receive again the request to enter their PIN code. So this is to help the owner to have more control over what their employees can do and eliminate the options for theft by the customers, by the employees. Then we have the access right to open cash drawer without making a sale. So in Loyverse, the cash drawer will be open only when a cash sale is charged and closed. But sometimes it is needed to open the cash drawer even without making a sale. So if this is the case, then you can give this access right to the employees. And if you have connected a receipt printer with the Loyverse POS, then the employee will see in this menu the option to open the cash drawer manually without making a sale. Reprint and resend receipt. So in the receipt list in the POS application, it is possible to reprint receipt or to resend the receipt by email. In this three dot icon, you can either print receipt or email receipt. In case that you don't want your employees to be able to reprint receipt or resend receipt by email because maybe they will misuse this function, then you can disable this access right from their list of access right in the back office. Manage items. In the POS application, there is a possibility to open the item list and to manage items, meaning that you can see the information of the existing items, you can edit, you can add new items, or you can delete existing items. So in case that you don't want the person who is using the POS to be able to do such action, then you can disable this access right, so they will not be able to enter in the item list at all, but they will see the request for the PIN code. Then there is the view cost of items. So you can give them access right to the item list, but disable the option to view cost of items. So they will be able to enter in the item list in the POS, but they will not be able to view the cost of items. Change settings. So in the POS application, we have this settings, the setting menu, where it is possible to add printers, to add customer display, or to configure taxes, or to change the layout of items in the main sales screen. So if you don't want the employees to be able to enter in this section, you can again disable this fixture, this access right, or you can enable it for them. And also access to live chat support. So in the POS, the employees can enter to the support. So they can send messages, or they can go to the help center, or even to the community. So if you want to allow the employees to access to the support, then you need to activate this access right for them. Or if you don't want them to be able to communicate with the live chat support, then you need to disable this feature. So this is the block of access right for the POS application. Now, in the same way, so here is the back office list of access right, but it is disabled because we do not want the cashier to have access to the back office. But maybe you have a manager or administrator whom it is who it's needed for them to have access to the back office. So in this case, we can activate the back office access. And in the back office, again, the back office has many sections like the reports, the item, the advanced inventory, the employee management, customer section, integration and settings, and also live chat. So in this case, there are this block of access rights that you can activate or disable and give your employees access to specific sections in the back office. Like if they have only the access right to view sales report, then they will be able to enter only in the report section, but not in any of the other sections. Or for example, if they have the option to cancel the receipt, then in the receipt section, if they open any of the receipts, there is an option here to cancel receipt, which means that the receipt will not be accounted for in the reports and the items will be returned in stock. So you can give this access right to specific employees, or if you want so. Then of course, you can give them access to manage items, meaning to add items, to edit existing items, and so on. In the same way as in the POS, there is this access right to view cost of items. So if you disable this functionality, then the employees that have access right to the POS will not be able to see the cost of items. So even if they have, for example, access to the item list, they will be able to see the price but not the cost. Or if they have access right to the reports, they will be able to see the gross sales or refund, but they will not be able to see any data that is related with the cost of items. Or even if they have, for example, access right to the advanced inventory, we have the inventory valuation report, they will not be able to see the inventory value because they will not be able to see the cost of, they don't have access right to view the cost of items. Other access rights in the back office are for to manage employees, or like they can be able to enter in the section of employees and also to like add, edit, delete employees, or also change the other access rights, or manage customers, so they will be able to enter in the customer section to add new customers, to delete customers, to edit the customer profile. Edit general settings, so it means that they can enter in the settings section and they can change, edit features, or they can add payment types, or change the loyalty card, loyalty program, and also so there other access rights related with the back office are to manage billing, meaning manage the subscriptions, manage payment types, so you can configure different payment types or delete existing payment types that have already been created, manage loyalty programs, so you can change the percentage of the loyalty program, manage taxes, so you can add or delete existing taxes, manage POS devices means that you can add POS devices or delete existing POS devices, and it also means that you can enter in the Loyverse POS app with your own email and password, and also access to live chat support. Now let's stop a little bit more in this manage POS devices. What does this mean? So for an employee, for example, in our case we added the cashier. But if I change the role of Andy from cashier to administrator who has this access right to manage POS devices, what will happen? So let's check another time. So the role of administrator has the access right to manage POS devices. Now if I switch the role of my already added employee to administrator, you see there is this message that appears, invite to the back office, meaning that an invitation will be sent to this email address asking them to create a password. And then with this email and this password, they will be able to enter to the POS application and also the back office. So let's say, okay, so now an invitation should be sent to the email of the employee. Let's check if the email has arrived. So the emails usually take some time. Okay, so let's verify our email address. So waiting for the employee to log in. So the employee will receive the invitation by email like this. So it will, in the email, it will say that the name of the business, like Ohana, invites you to the organization and obtain access to the Loyverse back office. So we need to, the employee needs to create his password. So because the email will be this one, but they can create their password. So create an account. Let's add the password again. Create an account. Now we will check if this employee can enter. So you see that he is already directed to the back office and he can see the sections to which he has access to. so he can see, because if we go again to the main, like Loyverse account, in the administrator had access right to the back office and also had access right to view sales, almost all access rights. So he can see almost everything except from manage billing. And if we check, for example, in the settings, billing and subscription is so it's missing from here, because they are not able to manage billing. But they are able, for example, to see the POS devices, to add new POS devices, or to delete. And with this email and password, this employee can enter in the POS application. So we can try. So if we sign out, so we were signed in with the owner email and password. Now we can sign in with the employee's email and password. If the employee has access right only to a specific store, he will be directly signed into that store, but in my case I gave access to the employee to all stores, so he will be able to select the store to which he wants to access. And now he will sign in. Of course, it needed to enter the PIN code, and now this employee is signed in to this to the Loyverse account. So this is related with the access rights, how you can restrict the access right of your employees and give them specific access right only to certain functions to help you to protect your sensitive information. Now, another thing that employee management offers for you is the possibility to calculate the working hours of your employees. Of course, to be able to use this feature, first you have to activate in settings, in features, the time clock functionality and click on the save button. Now, once this is done, the employees can use their PIN code to enter or to stamp their clock in and clock out in their POS devices. Here it will appear now two new menus, time cards and total hours worked. So if we go to the POS app, and in this screen it will appear a new button, time clock. If I click on it and enter the PIN code of my employee, there will appear these two buttons, clock in and clock out. So if I choose clock in, it will say the name of the employee clocked at this time. And now what the system does is that it starts calculating the working hours for this employee. In the same way, the employee can clock out, and this time card will appear in the back office. So in this menu, time cards, you will see the time cards of the employees with the clock in date, clock out date, clock in time and clock out time, and the total working hours. And then the system will generate this total working hours report that you can export and use to calculate your employees' working hours and use it to calculate their salaries maybe. Now also we have the functionality of shifts. So if you have shifts in your business and you want to track the cash that goes in and out of the cash drawer and also do this cash reconciliation at the end of the day, you can activate this shift feature. Like if you activate the shift feature, then what happens is that in the POS application, when you want to start make sales for the day, it will appear this shift is closed, open shift to continue. So you can open shift, you have to enter the starting cash amount that is in the cash drawer at the moment when you are starting the shift, and then the shift is considered opened. Now if you make any sale and this sale it is charged by cash, let's say, it will be recorded and it will appear in the shift report as a cash sale. So the system starts generating the shift report where you can see the shift number and who opened the shift and the date and time. And then the first part of the shift report belongs to the cash drawer. It will show all the movement that happens to the cash drawer with the starting cash and cash payments. And if you do any refunds, it will also appear here. And during the shift, you can record paid in and paid out using this button of cash management, where you can register money that you put in the cash drawer for a specific reason. For example, maybe you received a tip, so you click on paid in, or you can record money that are taken out of the cash drawer, maybe because you need to buy something and you take money out of the cash drawer. So this pay in and payout are recorded together with their comments, and they will appear in the shift report. And what the system does is that it calculates the expected cash amount at the end of the shift using all these amounts added, and this makes easier the cash reconciliation at the end of the day. If you use during the shift other payment types, it will appear in the second part of the shift report, where it says the sales summary. When you close the shift, the system will show the expected cash amount, and you have to enter the actual cash amount. And if there is any kind of differences or discrepancy, the system will show it here, the difference. And you can close shift, and if you have connected a receipt printer, you can even print this shift report. And for the owner or for the person or employee who has access right to view the reports, this shift report will appear in the back office as soon as it is closed with all the details. Now, regarding this actual cash amount and expected cash amount that appears at the end of the shift, you can hide it from your employees, like if you want them to not be able to see this expected cash amount, then you can disable this access right view shift report, so they will not be able to see the expected cash amount, and they will have to enter the actual cash amount, and so you can be more sure that they have entered the correct amount, and this will also reduce the possibility of theft. The Loyverse will generate a report for you for the sales of the employees. In the report section, you will be able to see the sales by employee report, where you will be able to check the employees who worked in this period of time, and you will be able to see their gross sales, refund, discount, net sales, the number of the receipt they have issued, what was their average sale, and also how many customers did they sign up. Again, I mentioned that it is easier for you, like to track the performance of the person who does the service. For example, if it is a car washer, or maybe if you have a beauty salon and you need to track the performance of your hairstylist or manicurist, so you can create open ticket for them, like with the services that the customer is taking by them, and the cashier or the person who charges the ticket can finish the sale, but the sale will be recorded to the employee to which this open ticket is assigned to. So I can create a ticket, I can save, even if the cashier saves this ticket, he can assign it to a specific employee. In this way, you can track the performance of each of your employees, even though they are not the ones that are charging and closing the ticket. And all this information is visible in this report, which you can export and open in Excel or Google Sheets. So that is all about the employee management. I want to remind once more that employee management is one of our add-ons, and you have 14-day free trial to test it out, all the features, and to see how it works before you subscribe. If you have any question, don't hesitate to contact us in the live chat support. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.